Let's get it.
Junkerson. All right. What is up, guys? Welcome y'all into the 5th episode of Sideline Chatter. We're here on a nice Thursday night with no football tonight, which is pretty sad. But
Depressing.
yes, I'm here with the monster himself, James. How you doing, kiddo?
Yo, call me kiddo. You know, no football is boring,
Facts.
but pretty boring week. Just looking forward. I ain't got much going on, just working my ass off. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Yes, sir. You got a little party
A
Saturday?
little party.
Shout out Brittany.
James Hour stepping out. This don't happen very often.
Oh, 2 weeks in a row. Well, you'll see the costumes later. I'll be strapped up like Rambo over here.
So, forgot about that. Yeah.
But pretty much what we're covering this episode is going to be a shorter one, probably around like 20 minutes, 25 minutes in length. We're also going to be looking forward to doing like shorter videos in general in the future, just to not be so dragged out and stuff. So this week we're just going to do like our feast and famine part for week 6 coming up on Sunday, telling you who to play, who to bench, and hopefully give you guys some advice for your lineups. And our next 2 videos we're going to be dropping is hopefully Sunday/Monday night. We're going to be recapping the week that's coming up, and also a little fun video how to trade with people in your league and
hopefully,
how to properly do
hopefully
it.
members of our league
Tune in
y'all
need
and take notes because
Eric Spivak,
we're dropping some knowledge.
Yeah, anybody, Derek, Eric, Jake. I'm trying to boost on us. But without further ado, let's hop into our feast or famine.
You want to do a little news first?
What was that? Oh, yes.
I mean, it's not big news, but
yeah, it's pretty big. But Le'Veon Bell has been released by the Jets. His possible landing spots as of now are the Bills, Chiefs, and Dolphins.
I'm guessing I'm anticipating I'm gonna get a notification that he signs while we're recording this. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Praying it's not Miami for all my Myles Gaskin owners out there. Praying, hoping and praying. And if you have Clyde, obviously Kansas City would suck. I don't think Bill Singletary owners would be too upset. Guy stinks. But
I think he should go to the Bills, from a fantasy wise, because I think he'll get the most touches there, and like have the most upside there.
I agree. And
we'll see what happens.
One more little news, something to watch. Nothing has come out really, but Falcons apparently had 4 players test for COVID, and then they changed it to just 1 personnel.
Yeah.
So it looks like the game should be fine.
It better.
But if you have Falcons or Vikings players, definitely
it's going to be a fun game.
Stay on top of that. That's going to be a high scoring game. So hopefully it gets played. Big fantasy implications there.
I have Thielen and Jefferson in our league, so y'all better play because I need y'all.
All right. So just watch out for COVID and Le'Veon.
Yep.
It's 2 big news stories. All right. Let's hop into it, bro.
All right. First, start with our QBs, our feast QBs for the week. First off, we have Ryan Tannehill coming off a pretty big Tuesday night game.
Facing him. Don't like seeing that.
You're facing him this week, yes. But he has 20 points in 3 out of the 4 games he's played this year. 9 touchdowns to 1 pick. 9 passing touchdowns. He also has a rushing touchdown in the year.
Solid.
And he also offers rushing value as well, which always creates a nice floor for your quarterback. And he also is going up against the Texans, who, you're not really scared of them as a matchup.
You just took everything, bro. Thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You just rambled off the whole list. But the only thing I was going to say is actually I saw this thing. It was like a graphic. It said the stats in their last 16 games.
Mm-hmm.
It was Mahomes versus Tannehill.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
And Tannehill's, better in, every stat. Not by a lot, but,
It's like 35 to 6 TD INT ratio or something.
So, is he...
He's good, bro.
Is he good?
Yeah, I think he's good.
Huh?
He was
Dolphins podcast, but, we think he's good. Yeah.
He was a prisoner of Adam Gase, so that's why you didn't see him perform like that in Miami, but... He looks good to me. He looked good in the playoffs last year for when they weren't riding the shit out of Henry.
Threw a touchdown pass about 7 feet in front of the line of scrimmage, but yeah, he's good. He's fun.
I'm not gonna get into that, but yes, furious.
He's fun.
But yes, Ryan Tannehill is our first feast QB. So if you're looking for a streamer or
if you had Dak,
solid play. If you're a Dak Prescott owner like myself, if you're lucky enough to get him off the waiver wire, which I wasn't.
I think there's 4 buys this week too, right? So
yeah. So I had to settle for the next guy on our
list. Getting into the streaming weeks.
Yes, the streaming weeks.
Next up, got Justin's streamer. Hopefully he's hoping the rest of the year. Matthew Stanford, as he referred to him in the group chat earlier. Matthew Stafford. Guy's good. I feel like he's good every year.
Yeah,
like
he's
real
solid.
QB, he's good every year. Like the team might not be that good, but he's always been solid.
They haven't had a running game in like
years,
since freaking
years.
Joik Bell.
Wow, I forgot he existed. That's pretty crazy. Well, Stafford has had multiple touchdown passes in 3 straight games, which is always solid from fantasy perspective. Like we just said, the run game is non-existent. Adrian Peterson, if he's inside the 1 and he's facing James Albert, he'll score a touchdown. But Stafford plus matchup.
And the Jags also have allowed 300 yards in 3 games this year. So leakiness,
leaky faucets.
Minshaw
the leak. Minshaw and the Leakersons. That's a team name.
But Stafford, like we said, if you need help this week at a QB, turn him. I don't think he's gonna let you down. I think he should at least put up double-digit points.
I agree.
That's not really asking a lot, but
that's. I'm sorry, I was not focused on what he was saying.
I meant to say 20 in my head.
He said double-digit points. You will not take that from your quarterback. I'm sorry.
I meant to say 20. That's what we need out of you, Stafford. So don't F us over.
All right, last one here. You'd probably be surprised to put him on a good QB list, fantasy-wise. That's Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk Cousins.
I feel like this is just more of the opponent he's playing.
Yeah.
They're playing the Falcons this week, which has like pretty high shootout appeal. And it's like they're playing the Falcons. What else do you got to say?
I have nothing to add. To that.
Dalvin Cook will be out, or he's supposed to be out, so maybe they run less. I don't think they probably still run like they always do, but I think Kirk's looking at like 2 to 3 TDs here.
If every week, like, you know how you stream defenses that play the worst team in the league, you should stream the quarterback that plays the Falcons.
Yeah,
if you can. If they're not,
stream whoever plays the Jets for your defense, and stream whoever plays the Falcons for your QBs.
Flacco and Gore better lead them boys to a dub.
Hell no.
Let's move on to
Kirk
Famine.
Cousins should be solid.
Kirk, get him in.
Yeah.
Famine. Last week's Feast player, who actually had a really great game. It's Teddy.
We're switching it up around here on y'all.
Teddy Bridge.
Chicago's given out their fewest points to QB so far.
Stinge.
And they're also leaky against the run, so we both feel like this could be a big Mike Davis game. And
it's a shame McCaffrey's 1 week away.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Shame.
But Bridgewater's not really like a high. He's had some games this year with some like high volume attempts and stuff, but he's not really known for that. But we think there's better options out there this week, I would say.
For sure.
So even though he was Feast last week, we're throwing him on the Famine this week because we're picking and choosing our spots.
It's just going to be a scummy game. I feel like Foles isn't – they're not going to go put up 40 points on you. So
it could be a nice scum bowl in the division.
Nice scum bowl run game. Montgomery owners say a prayer that he runs for more than 3 yards a carry. Mike Davis is going to eat. That's enough. Next, we got Matty Ice. Having multiple leagues.
I'm over him.
I was riding high week 2. Having 2 leagues, riding high. God.
Yeah, he came out the gates 2 straight weeks now. He's been wet in the bed ever since.
Stinks.
He had 1 TD in the last 3 weeks after the hot start, like we mentioned. The Falcons are just like a mess overall. It's like you don't really want anybody in this offense left for like Ridley at this point. Gurley's been playing decent. They're a decent offense, but like they just underperform. Like any given week, they can just lay an egg, and it's like, what the hell are y'all doing? And Jake, if you offer him 1 more trade, nobody wants Matt Ryan. Drop him.
Jesus. Right for the throat.
And the Vikings also may control the clock in this game, we feel like, because of the bad Atlanta defense. They could ride Madison. They could, like we said,
Boone. Mike Boone.
Was like they did to the Seahawks last week. They just milk that shit. So that wraps up our Famine.
Milk that shit.
Milk that shit. Where do you want to move next?
Do some RBs.
All right.
On some RBs, and our first up here we have. This can't be right.
What?
I'm just playing. Chase Edmonds, the backup running back for the Arizona Cardinals.
We're going out on limbs. That's what we got to do here.
All right. I'm agreeing with you. I was just making sure it wasn't a typo.
I was telling the audience. Look at his
making sure it wasn't a typo. That's all. Chase Edmonds, Monday Night Football against the worst defense in the NFL, second worst to the Falcons.
Yes, or they might be the worst.
They might be the worst, actually. That's very true.
Up for debate.
Chase Edmonds, though, he's been like incredibly efficient. He only gets maybe 10 touches a game, sometimes less, sometimes a little more. But he seems to find his way into the end zone with those touches that he does get. Drake has been awful.
Drake has been underperforming. Or to say he had his highest snap share, which was only 36%. It was the highest of the season for him. And we saw last year how he could perform in this offense when David Johnson went out and before Drake came over. He had a 3-touchdown game last year. Last week he had 6 targets, 5 catches, 93 total yards and a touchdown.
PPR league, he's definitely startable now. He's proven that.
Tyler texted me this morning. It was like, he said he had Drake and Edmonds. Yeah. He was like, who should I start on Monday? And I was like, I guess Edmonds.
I would probably say Edmonds, too.
Yeah.
Well, Drake hasn't given you any reason to use him.
Yeah. Except for the carries.
Yeah,
so you kind of just hoping.
That's what I'm just, like, he's not been doing anything with the carries is what I meant.
But I have Kamara on a bye in our 12-team league, and I'm using Drake and Edmonds because my RBs are a little thin. Well, I'm using both of them, so I hope y'all both come through, which I think could be possible this week. They could both have a decent game because they're playing the Cowboys. So Chase Edmonds, if you're looking for a nice flex play, I think he could provide some value.
All right, next up we have my favorite player, the podcast's favorite player.
Take it away.
Podcast's favorite team, favorite player. He will be mentioned every week. I think it's decided. It's just fate that he has to be in the episode one way or another. Last week I had him on the Famine, then he blew up, had his best game. That is, if you haven't guessed it yet, that's Myles Gaskin, Miami Dolphins.
Yes, 16 carries last week. Another 5 targets for him. 3 red zone targets last week. 4 red zone carries last week.
Facing the Jets.
And they're facing the Jets.
Yes, Jets.
So, I mean, starting running back against the Jets.
My favorite stat of all time. He's third among all running backs in the NFL in red zone touches, which to me is bonkers that he only has 1 touchdown.
Someone like him has that many touches in the red zone.
That's crazy. I don't know. I think he had a really good week last week, and he's only going to go up this week. And if you didn't buy low on him when I told you to, shame on you.
The guru over here.
Shame on you. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, he's a dual threat against the Jets. Unless Bell goes there, then you're starting him. Even if Bell does go there, you're still starting him this week. But
yeah,
Myles Gaskin, Feasterson.
Last up here.
See, we're trying to get some guru plays for y'all here. A little nasty, but
Devontae Freeman.
He's seen an increased role because it was his second game last week with the team, right? He had 17 carries last week, 2 catches, and also a touchdown.
It's pretty solid. I don't know. I feel like wow, that's funny.
No, my bad. I was looking at something on my phone.
It's all right, bro.
But
I'm waiting for the stat you're about to drop on me because I don't know what it is. I'm waiting for it.
He had a good game last week. 57% snap share, which is solid. They're going against who?
The Washington football.
They're playing against the Redskins.
Is that what you were trying to figure out?
Yes.
Yeah, they're going up to football team.
So a cake matchup here. It should be.
I feel like I think it's going to be a nasty ass game. Right. That's just me. I have Plodfest written on my.
He also looked pretty good last week when we were watching him.
Yeah, looks quick.
Some burst.
Looks quick and got some burst.
But
I don't know. I think he's back. I think he's taken over that backfield like 100%, no doubt.
So if he's on, he's probably like a fringe, like Olsen starting him this weekend.
I say bye weeks. It's getting to the point where like now, who you started weeks 1 to 4, like you're not gonna have that lineup again.
Right.
So you have to get creative with who you're gonna put in.
If it looks nasty, bro, just roll with it.
I was gonna say you just gotta trust your players. Trust your players.
Devontae Freeman hopefully feasts and doesn't clunk and prove us wrong. On to the Famine section. Running backs, we're going to start off with Devin Singletary. My second RB.
You can take this one, bro. I want no parts of this conversation.
Yeah, there's only a 66% snap share last week with Zach Moss not even playing. He got outplayed by T.J. Yeldon pretty badly.
I'm just listening. No, just
only had 11 carries and only 1 target, and they were down the whole game, which is kind of depressing. Only 33 yards, and Zach Moss is supposed to return this week. So, I mean, he's my second RB right now in our league because I said Eckler's hurt for me, and, like, I'm not. I'm trying to trade as we're speaking.
Yeah, just avoid Bill's backfield, I think.
Pretty much.
Unless Le'Veon goes there.
Which sucks because they're actually a good offense, so it's like, how the hell does nobody produce? We'd have Allen vulturing a lot of the rushing production, but Singletary just hasn't looked the part this year. I didn't touch him in any draft. I acquired him in a trade. I was like,
well, I think everyone thought Moss was going to be more involved, and then he got hurt, so like it forced him into a role. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think he's good enough to have that kind of role. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you get T.J. Yeldon's taking your job, that's not very good. I can't talk about this anymore. Get him off.
There's Singletary on your bench.
Melvin.
Next up, we got it. Oh, okay.
Melvin DUI Golden.
Fucking reckless motherfucker.
What the hell is he doing? I've read the thing, like the actual details. Somebody found out he like went to have wine with like a group of friends, and like he said he knew he probably shouldn't have driven. Mm-hmm. And this man went 40 miles per hour over the speed limit, like he's Justin Hagee on his way to the casino. But
so he was drunk and doing 40 over.
Oh yeah.
What sense is that?
Well, 20 to 39.
Oh.
I guess it's just a category.
Even then,
that's
bro, if
the
you're
same
drunk,
thing.
You gotta go to the limit. I'm not condoning drunk driving, but
sounds like it.
If you are fucking driving drunk, dude, don't go 30 over.
I don't know.
When you're an NFL player.
Anyway, that's even if he does play, I'm assuming he's gonna have some kind of disciplinary where he won't play. But if he does, it's a bad matchup. Just a bad matchup. Pats, right?
Yeah, Patriots.
Tripping outside. I thought
Phil Lindsay's also returning.
These COVID games getting moved around. It's like messing with my brain. Yeah, Lindsay's back.
So hopefully you didn't trade him for Josh Jacobs straight up.
Whoa.
So that was loud because it was meant to be loud.
I hope whoever he's talking about took note.
Spivak.
Oh, okay. Name drop real quick. Just imagine you could have had. So you have Philip Lindsay on your bench. So you could have started if Gordon's out, Josh Jacobs and Philip Lindsay, who automatically goes into a 20-touch role.
Yeah. But he's a guru. We're not questioning it. On to the next one, we have a high-rated player who has pretty much underperformed, and that's Joe Mixon.
Shout out Reggie.
Yeah. I'm so high on him.
I'm sorry we tell you he's good every week, and he ends up not being good. I'm sorry.
He's only scored in one game this year, as we all know. He gets a Colts D that's third fewest against running backs. He's only averaged 3.7 yards per carry as well, and 4.1 yards per touch, which is 45th among running backs. So he's out there applauding on the field.
Just a good old-fashioned case of applauding.
Right. He was probably a second-round pick for most people, so, I mean, I know this is, like, kind of strange if you're trying to bench him. But we feel like in PPR leagues, he's kind of playable here. Yeah. Serviceable. He's had 6 catches back-to-back games. So, I mean, are you really benching Mixon? Like, we don't know, but we're not expecting a good game.
I think if you have the means to, you should, because this is just me a low-scoring, disgusting game. I don't know.
Well, I'm starting Gaskin over him in Eric's league. I have Aaron Jones, and I put Gaskin over Mixon.
Good.
So, if we're right.
The Miles Gaskin fan club over here definitely thinks that you should do that.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Joe Mixon, Famine. And that wraps up that.
All right. Feast. Wide receivers. Feast. Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Khan.
Hollywood Khan finally got his little bony ass into the end zone last week. About time. You're just gonna let me roll with it?
Yeah,
usually, all right, my bad, bro. Playing the Eagles. All right, I'm sorry, I'm waiting for this Le'Veon notification. Hollywood, he's playing the Eagles, who always give up the big play. They have for years. I feel like they just always give up the. And if Harbaugh watches any film, he's gonna put Hollywood in the slot and let Nathan Gary cover him, and that's just gonna be a
bomb.
That's gonna be a feast. That in itself, just Nathan Gary. Every week his targets go up. He's finally looks healthy. All right, he was injured. He finally looks healthy. I don't know.
Yeah, you see his target increase in 2 straight weeks, like he said. He's number 5 in NFL in air yards, which is always a positive sign that he's getting the average depth that you want to see. And he's number 2 overall in deep targets as well. So we're kind of forecasting a big play here at some point in the game that's going to bolster his fantasy day.
Maybe it'll push Lamar over 200 passing yards, but
hopefully.
We'll see.
Birds.
Next up, staying in the division, Chase Claypool is probably everyone's pickup of the week, and usually someone who blows up and you pick up, you're not starting right away.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think he absolutely has to be started, especially if Deontay's out.
Yeah. We're just going a hot hand approach here. and he also has a really good matchup. The Browns giving up the second most to receivers this year. Big Ben's been playing pretty solid. I mean, he had 11 targets last week. Like you said, if Johnson doesn't play, that even boosts his value even more. I think even if he does
play. If Johnson doesn't play, he's must start.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't even think about it.
But right.
Yeah, if Johnson plays, there's still, depending on your lineup, could still get him in there.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I think he has a big game.
Yeah, same. They're going to try to get him the ball, obviously, after last week's game. So, roll with him.
Hot hand. Chase it.
Next, we have Justin Jefferson. Fan club.
It's all you, bro. It's all you.
Great matchup against the Falcons.
Take a break real quick.
Like you said earlier. This is a good squeaky wheel game. Is that what they call it? Bounce back week.
Squeaky wheel.
He ran 40 routes last week, which is his most all season by 13, which is kind of crazy to think. So, I also think his ceiling this week, I think, is very high. Like, fearless forecast.
This
is
the week.
Yeah.
Because they know Dalvin, so they're probably going to have to throw more than they would like to, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. I also think he can catch a deep one. So I'm hoping. But you're playing Jefferson this week.
You're playing these receivers against these leaky faucets and hoping for the big play.
Pretty much.
Very likely big play, I should say.
He's finna eat, Chief. So
all right,
put him in.
Three young bloods on the feast.
Yep. And then our famine for receivers. We're starting off with DJ Moore, who's been pretty much underwhelming this year as well.
Last week he got lucky on that long-ass touchdown.
He plays the Bears, like we said with Teddy. It's just a bad matchup. His target total the last 3 weeks, 4, 6, and 5, which is nasty to say the least.
Not what you want to see out of your probably third or fourth round fantasy pick.
Yeah.
Probably not what you want to see
at all. Robbie's taking over number one duties on offense.
Bobby Cheese.
Insane, bro. I don't think anybody saw it coming, really.
He's insane, yeah.
But don't expect a big week out of DJ Moore. Like, I'm starting him in my R12 team league because, like, it's a deep-ass league and I have to. But I'm not expecting a lot. Who you got next, Chief?
Got Michael Gallup, who's nasty anyway. But I don't know, with that going down, I feel like all the receivers have a question mark because I don't know who Andy Dalton's guy is going to be.
Right.
Literally, because CD just went off last week. I don't know because I always thought he was the third receiver, but now I guess maybe he's the second. There's just a lot of uncertainty in that whole offense because I don't know if the game plan is going to be ground and pound. I have no idea. I think this is one you just wait a week to see what they do with a full Andy Dalton game.
I agree. And the Cards are also allowing just 224 passing yards per game, which is low. So
I feel like you have better options.
Yeah, you probably do.
I would avoid
This isn't the week to use Gallup.
I know it's tempting that Monday night. I know it's tempting. You might think, like, your flex isn't that good and you just want to throw some Monday night miracle out there, but
could also backfire. Get you 1 point and you need 3. Next up, we have Tyler Boyd, who's a pretty solid player. He's always his floor has a high floor, but he also has a brutal matchup against the Colts. Joe Burrow was sacked 7 times last week, as we know.
The Colts are even better defense
than Ravens.
Both really good defenses, but
the Colts might control the game here. We see, and like this is a gross game. I think it's gonna be real low scoring.
Big time.
Bengals might score like 14 points, if that.
So I feel like if they're down a lot, I feel like that's actually the only way.
Right. I don't think the Colts are even going to score that much.
That's what I'm saying. If the closer the game is, the worse it is for Boyd. Because I think if they get blown out, then he definitely gets some garbage time. But the closer it stays, which I think it'll be a one-possession game, or 2 at the most.
Yeah.
I don't think that bodes well for Boyd.
Like in a PPR league, you're probably starting him.
So
like he's been solid all
catches
year.
alone, yeah, he's solid.
But like like we said earlier, we're not expecting a big game out of him.
Nope.
And to wrap things up, we got a Feast tight end and one. Did we pick a Famine?
Yeah, we did.
No,
I got it, bro. Yeah,
our Feast tight ends, throw it out there. T.J. Hawkinson we have of the Lions. Jags allowed touchdown, no tight end, 3 straight weeks. And he's been pretty solid this year.
It's the 13th overall tight end, which doesn't sound that great, but he's also had the first bye, so everyone's had one more game than him, and he's still 13th. So I think he's very solid. He's probably your backup tight end.
Possibly started,
Yeah, it depends on your draft strategy, but Hawkinson, Beast.
Yes, sir.
All right, I got to do the Famine, right? And Justin just copped that on the prep time. It was done. Famine tight end, I'm getting Noah Fant, who's been in the top 8 tight ends so far, I believe. but he's going up against Billy the mastermind. If you hold Darren Waller 2 catches for 10 yards, I think that's pretty significant, and they've only allowed the 4th fewest catches to tight ends.
Yeah.
Going into like through 5 games or 4 because they had the bye, but I don't know.
I just traded for him in our league. I gave up a defense for him, so hopefully he's not Famine. He's the best I got.
Gave up the defense he's going against, actually. Yeah.
Patriots for Fant and Bears. Sounds solid to me.
So this is okay. So he just said that to you guys. He said that he gave up Patriots D for Fant and Bears. Didn't include to the fans out there that he also gave up Dalton Schultz. But when he was hyping up this fair trade to me and Reggie, he said, "I'm giving him Dalton Schultz." Like, no, I'm done. I'm not hearing it. I'm done. That's it. That's the Famine.
Thanks, John. That wraps up this episode. It's probably give a timer.
26.
Okay, right where we estimated. Right.
Seems like we get everything right around here. Some damn gurus.
You know the vibes. But dang, I just ruined the whole episode with that.
You like to have your cringy endings, yeah, a little bit.
But that wraps it up. Pay attention to our start and sit-ems. Like always, go subscribe to the YouTube channel at Sideline Chatter. Also, our Instagram and Twitter accounts. Go ask some lineup advice because I know y'all need it out there.
Please hit us up with these start sits. Like, we definitely want to help you guys hit with some start sits. I know
we're also trying to grow a little, so
I know y'all are out there struggling every week thinking about who you should start. Let us make the decision for you and blame us. Blame us when you lose.
Blame us. Blame the team.
Or please let us know when you win. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Also, look out next episode. Have some fun stuff planned for you guys out there.
A little scenery change, a little outfit change, get in the mood for Halloween. Yeah, that's all we're telling.
That's it. All right.
But we'll see y'all on Sunday night, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Deuce.